The happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome to Mindset Monday with Caroline Ainslie every Monday at 4 o'clock London time. And it's all about how finding ways using a positive mindset, using a growth mindset to overcome life's problems. Do you want to achieve everything you've ever wanted to achieve in life? Or just one mission, one thing that you struggled with? The solution is mindset. And today we've got Riana Avis, who went from tragedy as a young child and the struggles that caused to become a successful businesswoman who helps other businesswomen succeed. And she will be sharing her secrets and ways that you can overcome your difficulties in the next hour. So I'm going to bring her into the studio now. And I think we've got her. I can't see me and I can't see her.
I can hear you.
I'm not sure that we're in. It says remove. I'm not quite sure what this is. Welcome everybody. Welcome Riana. So for those of you who are just listening, this is absolutely fine. Oh, here we are. It's a miracle. We have arrived. And so welcome, Riana. Thank you so much for joining us on Mindset Monday. I have been looking forward to this. Riana is a dear friend of mine. She is someone who mentors me in my business of bubbly maths. And she has taught me a thing or two over the years, including just in the last 15 minutes. And so today we're going to she's going to share some of her secrets, some of her learnings in life. But before that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her. She's going to be telling you how she went from tragedy as a young child and the struggles that caused to become a successful businesswoman who helps other businesswomen succeed. I'm just repeating that bit, but these days, Riana is a business and money coach. She's a natural analyst and problem solver. I can vouch for that. She spent much of her career in IT, designing, implementing solutions, managing projects, and delivering training. She is a lifelong learner and enjoys new experiences. And through those experiences she has made some enormous changes in her own life. And it's the rich blend of skills, talents, training, and experiences that positions her in her career as a trusted guide and anchor in times of turmoil. I can vouch for that. So Riana is going to share a few of the secrets. We're going to do a little process as well. She's going to show you live on air. So if you want to join in, that'll be in about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes-ish, if you'd like to join us with that. And so what, tell us, just give us a little, not a taster, just tell us what to expect from that. What is it going to be helping us with?
The exercise.
Yes, the exercise.
Yes, so first of all, if you want to participate, you probably want to get a piece of paper because I'm going to give you instructions and I'm going to ask you to write a few things down. And quite frankly, it's just, sometimes it just helps when we take time out to reflect on what's going on in our lives, whether that is in the space of health or wealth or relationships or our work, the things that we do. So I'm just going to ask you to reflect, take an opportunity to reflect, take an opportunity to hone in on something, take an opportunity to where you want to take that, look forward to something.
So maybe think of, to prepare in about half an hour's time, maybe think of something in particular that they want to.
No, I'll guide them at the time.
You'll guide them at the time. So just bring a piece of paper and just be ready. See if you can manage to get a quiet moment, and it'll be some reflection time.
Yeah. And it's a question of trust the process.
Haha. Right. I'm just going to plug in my microphone, which I had hopefully it'll be better sound now. Have you got one, Rihanna?
I do.
It's not,
Do you want me to use it?
yes. Actually, it's a lot better now that I've got my earphones on. But yeah, it's like, I think it could do with being ever so slightly louder. That'd be great. Needs to be part of my list of checkpoints. Now, I'm still new at this, everybody. I apologize for my. You're joining me on my learning experience. I am demonstrating to you each and every week how to handle hiccups and problems by literally by demonstrating it. And the way to handle it in my world, by the way, because I share this every week, is literally, it's some people call it a positive mindset. I call it a growth mindset. But it's not but. I eradicate the use of the word but. That's one of the things that I'm working on. And if you stay upbeat, and every time there's a problem, you think, what did I learn? What did I learn? What's the problem? What's the solution of the problem? What's the solution? Looking at how to get out of it rather than dwelling on the problem. That's one of my secrets. One of the things that I do. Right. Thank you, Rihanna. So starting, you had a rough start actually you had a good start in life, but then things went pear-shaped quite quickly.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing about that?
No, not at all. So as you well know, Caroline, because we've talked about this before, yes, my birth mother passed away when I was about three and a half, nearly 4 years old. My brother was about 3 months old at the time. And at the time, I don't think you realize exactly what that means for you as in an adult life and so on. I just want to silence. Yes, another learning thing. Ask your guests to please turn their phones off.
Right here, making a note. But you're fine. A few dings and dongs. This is COVID times. Likelihood is my doorbell will go as well. We'll just deal with it. Not a problem. But thank you. Yes, checklist.
Yeah, and so probably the people around me, like my grandmother, because we then stayed with my grandparents, and the adults around me, they were the people who had the grief. And obviously, as a child, I would have been in that space where I experienced their grief, and they looked at me to, I don't know, probably as a way of, number one, probably they were grateful that at least they had me. And secondly, I reminded them of the daughter they just lost. But it is in the growing up years when I heard messages like, so sorry for me because I lost my mother. I didn't like that. I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. And it was, I guess when I was at school, I felt ashamed about it. I never talked about it. When I think back, then maybe it's because I was ashamed. I mean, I meet some of my school friends now and they said, we never knew you had a stepmom, because my dad did remarry again quite quickly. And then, my stepmom became one of my greatest teachers in life. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, from what you've told me in your past, you didn't always have, you've a lifelong learner, you've mentioned that, but you had challenges with your children. You talked about perhaps being a bit hard, the perfectionist. So can you tell us about where things weren't smooth and then how you transitioned to them? To the mindset, how you shifted the mindset. Well, let's just start with the problems. Let's start with that.
Problems. So first of all, as a child myself, my stepmom and I didn't always see eye to eye, obviously. She never wanted me to go to university. I always thought she was stupid and, things like that. But she was the only mother that I had. She never had any of her own children. And then when I became a mother, she was the example she was the example mother that I had. So I vowed to myself that whenever I have children, I will not be the kind of mother she was. And I thought she was a harsh mother. She was very good at cooking the food and cleaning the house and things like that. But in terms of being emotionally available, there wasn't a lot of that. So I felt I missed out on that. And also, she didn't like it if I knew something she didn't. For instance, she would stop me from reading the newspapers and things. And so I developed this big guilt whenever I read a newspaper as a young woman. And so I just stopped because I didn't like the guilt feeling. But then when I had my own children, I started being a mother like she was.
Okay, is that you? Can you hear me, Riana? Okay, everything's fine. We've got connectivity, but we've lost audio. Pull this out. Pull it out. Okay. We've got some viewers, which is fantastic. But we've lost connectivity. We've lost sound. I don't know if people can hear me. Can you, in the comments, please tell me if you can hear me, or tell me you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know. And now what I don't know how to do is how, if I have to. Oh my goodness! This doesn't ever go. Can you hear me, Riana? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me. It's me that can't hear. Well, I haven't had a response back. Well, I wonder, because I can't hear anything, but you can hear me. Oh. Now? No. Right. I'm just going to. Oh dear. Oh, yes, great. Okay, right. Children, you were with your children and?
Yeah, so I found I was a kind of a harsh mother. Do things like this, be like this, don't know which way to it. Being very specific and wanting them to do exactly what I wanted, when I wanted it and how I wanted it. And that didn't work. It didn't work for me when I was a child, and didn't work for me when I tried to be like that as a mother. And it caused problems between me and my son as well, because when he was a teenager, he chose things that I wouldn't have chosen for him, and so we clashed a lot at that stage. I was already quite a bit into personal development and things like that. But he certainly was also a great teacher, definitely a great teacher. And then I came across something called crucial conversations, which is how you have those difficult conversations. And that really taught me how to have that conversation where you clash with somebody else, you have different opinions, you very, when it's your own child, there's loads of emotion involved.
So okay, so before we get, I'm just going to take you back just a little bit.
Yes.
Was there a point you were doing personal development? Now that usually means that you've had a turning point and you know that you need it. So what would have been? Did you have that seminal moment where you realized something has to change? Was there something in particular that happened? I'm shooting in the dark here.
No. Something had to change when I realized I was not getting through to my children.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment something had to change.
Right.
That I was not, I was being unavailable to my children emotionally. That's how I felt. I felt like I was pushing them in, well, in my mind, I was guiding them where they needed to go. But I don't know that that's the right way to raise children, because what I think is right for them, what you think as a parent, is not necessarily right for them. And so I needed to back off. You know, they always told me I was very controlling, and I never believed them because I didn't see it myself.
Right.
Yes.
You have described yourself as a recovering control something. A recovering control freak. It's like, I don't do it anymore, but I still identify as such. So okay, so that would have been why you wanted to do something about it, to be able to connect with your children and have a good relationship with them, presumably. I mean, I know you're a grandmother now, so thank goodness you made that relationship. Good.
Yeah, I really admire people who can say, I had this moment, and in that moment, I knew that I had to do totally something different. But for me, it was like the fog slowly lifted.
Right.
And I think because I'm a lifelong learner, I have this need to learn new things, to experience new things, to see things from a different point of view. And I had this message in my head somehow: join Toastmasters, learn to meditate.
Okay. So I'm going to stop you there, because you're now going off to something. You've mentioned something that I want to deal with as a separate thing, and we've got to go for a commercial break. So, so I'm going to put on the little jingle, the lovely jingle. Okay. Oh, sorry. I just got the message that everyone could hear me. It was only me that couldn't hear for some bizarre reason.
Right. Okay.
So thank you. Thank you, technical, the lovely Harry. Okay, right. So we're going to go to commercial break and tell you, so you can hear all about lovely Relax Radio, which it's a community radio for those of you that are maybe just joining for the first time. It's community radio, and the idea is to share as much wisdom and as much. It's Relax, RELAKS. So it's got rid of the X. It's got rid of the negativity that we associate in school with the X. So here we go. After the break, we will be finding out more about the ways in which Riana became a recovering control freak.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we have Riana Avis, who is sharing her secrets on how you can become a successful, how you can achieve success with the things that you want to achieve success with. And it's Mindset Monday. So it's all about mindset. And Riana's sharing her own particular flavor of how, because everyone's got a slight variation of it. The essence is the same, but everyone's got their own stories, and we're hoping hers will resonate with some of you. And those that do, her contact information is in the description. So please do get in touch with her website, her email address. So Riana, you were saying the steps you actually took to start. So you were a recovering control freak. You had some tough experiences in your life. You're now a recovering control freak. You're starting to go to Toastmasters. Now, how does that help in personal development? I'm very interested in knowing how this helps, and I've got a very, very personal reason for asking, but I'd love to hear your take on it.
Well, you have to get over yourself if you want to stand up in front of people and speak. And it was very scary, because the first thing that came into my head is, if I stand in front of people and speak, they're all going to attack me. You know, they're going to ask me, they're going to think I'm bad. They're going to think the worst of me. What are they going to think of me? And, you know, having grown up with my stepmother, who maybe didn't have the best of thoughts about me, and I was told, you know, the teachers were quite kind to me as a child and so on. But I think the stepmom experience definitely knocked my confidence and so on. And so I really had to sort of step up and get over that fear of standing up and being seen and speaking my own truth. Because I was okay to stand up at work and do presentations, but then you're not speaking about yourself. When you speak about yourself and you're opening your heart and your mind and your soul for other people to look at, then all of a sudden, that's a very vulnerable place.
So key number one is confidence. Find a way to build your self-confidence.
Yeah, and self-esteem.
And exposing yourself to others, as in as a talker, giving presentations. That's very interesting, and I find it. So anybody can join Toastmasters. Anybody can use Toastmasters as a stepping stone in building their own self-confidence. Yeah. And from what I understand, I haven't actually ever done it. I've done speaking courses, but not Toastmasters. Are they supportive?
Very supportive. It's a very safe environment to go and speak. Everybody wants you to succeed. You get different opportunities to speak. I mean, I joined donkeys years ago. I'm not a member anymore, and things might have changed slightly. But it's the idea of a Toastmasters club is to give every member opportunity to speak at every meeting, and normally they meet every other week, every second week, and so on. And I always say it's the fastest way to learn to get confidence making a fool of yourself, because things happen. You know, you leave your notes, you forget your notes, everybody stares at you, and suddenly you realize they're looking at you. Oh my gosh, and you go blank.
Yes, it's happening to me on a regular basis here on Relaxed Radio every week.
Yeah. But you know, and there's one role that's called the Toastmaster of the evening. It's basically the MC for the evening, and they're the person who runs the agenda. You know, so they have to welcome everybody, introduce each section. They have to make sure that the program goes well. On the day, you know, speaker 1 couldn't make it, evaluated 3 couldn't make it. You know, oh, where's your table topics master? Not there. And you have to.
You've got to step into all the gaps or find somebody else.
You have to manage that, and you have to make sure that you put the show on the road. The show has to go on. You know?
Wonderful. So you said it probably hasn't changed very much, but it probably has. It's probably on Zoom at the moment.
It's probably on Zoom at the moment. So
I shouldn't say that. Wrong StreamYard.
Yeah. So it doesn't just help you with personal confidence, learning to think on your feet, and all of that. It's also, every club has a committee, so you can take up a role in that committee. You know, whether it's membership, whether it's treasury, whether it's PR, whether it's vice president education, whether it's president, and each of those have specific roles. Toastmasters is an education and communication organization and leadership organization.
Okay,
You know,
so
so and
tip number 1: join Toastmasters.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay,
And
well
they're all over the
maybe
world,
I will.
international. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And find a club that fits you, because you know different people are different clubs, and people who've gone on to run businesses and in their work will say it's in when they've had troubles, the first opportunity, or they've come across those kind of situations in Toastmasters, and it had to be
Yeah.
resolved there, so that when they found it on a larger scale, they had some background and experience to deal with it. So I
And
can
they knew
highly, recommend it.
and they knew they overcame it. Fantastic. Okay, well, you know, I didn't know all of that, so I just thought went to
Yeah.
Toastmasters and gave your speech. So fantastic. So tip number 1: join Toastmasters. Love it. Tip number 2: you've got 3 minutes to tell us about tip number 2. I'm not putting no pressure.
Yeah.
It can be a story. It can be in any form that you like. Tip number 2, and because after the break we've got something special.
So as a child, I did this whenever it was exam time. I grew up in South Africa, as you know, and I would always, at exam time, look at the clouds and I would look for the silver lining. I would look at where's the brightest part of the cloud, you know, behind the sun? And I would look for that. So I would, and that would give me some reassurance. So I was look for something that comforted me, that gave me a reassurance. So, and I still do that, whether I read, whether I got quotes are my big thing. Read quotes, conversations with people, something that's uplifting. I always go for something that's uplifting. Find something that's uplifting.
So you literally look for the silver lining in the clouds, literally.
Yes, that was literally looking at for the silver lining, yes.
But that's also a metaphor for always look for something positive to lift you up. Lovely. I like it.
Yeah.
So after the break, we are going to do an exercise. Now, this is because Riana has shared with us a couple of her secrets, and over the years, I know Riana's done some other personal development courses, that's where we met. Now she is a coach. She is a business coach and mentor and a money coach as well. And I have been one of her mentees for years now, and she's way ahead of me. So I'm kind of following behind, although sometimes I get to coach her. But the thing is that she has some very useful, very insightful methods, processes that she uses, and she's going to share one of those with us after the break. So if you can get a piece of paper, if you can get yourself 5 minutes of peace, if you can, and if you're driving or if you're not in a quiet place, just join us and just listen and hopefully benefit from it. And if you are called, if you do want to contact Riana, that's okay. It's all in the description, so you don't have to write it down if you can't. It's all in the description. So we're going to have another break. Very nice jingle with our lovely Relax Radio. I do love that jingle. And after the break, be ready with your pen, your paper, and Riana Avis.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us here 24 hours and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
I'm going to make you the feature person on this because this is the floor is going to be yours. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is all about how we are in control of our state. They call it. We are in control of our feelings and how we react to things. We're in control of how we deal with problems. Some of us just haven't learned how, or some of us are still learning how. And Riana is one of my mentors in this. She's been sharing her story so far. But right now, Riana, who is a business coach, which basically for self-employed people also means life coach, and she is a money coach as well. So we're going to do an activity with her now. So if you've got pen, you've got paper, and if you're driving, then obviously no. But if you want to contact Riana, the details are in the description. We are ready. Floor is yours. I'm just going to give you, whoops, not me, Riana. How do I do that? Oh no. Oh dear. Oh. Escape. Oh dear. That's not, I'm just going to have to do it. Okay, clearly there's something else I have to learn, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Well, we can manage.
No, yeah. Right, this is it. This is as good as it's going to get right now.
Okay, so you've got your piece of paper.
I've got my piece of paper.
Okay, so I want you to draw.
Okay.
Okay.
So this says, we're drawing one big rectangle, and we're splitting that into 4 quadrangles, and one is health, one is wealth, one is relationships, and one is self-expression. So we're splitting it into 4 smaller rectangles, one on health, one on wealth, one on relationships, and one on self-expression. So if you are driving, just hold those in your mind. And okay, go ahead. Next.
So health is probably self-explanatory. It's all about well-being, physical well-being. And wealth is all about your money and your finances. Relationships is your primary relationship, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your colleagues. We have relationships with not just people, but with things as well. But we're talking about people relationships here. And self-expression is the way we show up in the world. So that may be your work, it may be your career, it may be the way you dress, it may, the way your hobbies, all those kind of things. It's how you express yourself.
I think it's quite clear how I express myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so how you show up, work, clothing.
So all of those kind of things.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now
just look, just contemplate those 4 squares. We'll call them the squares of life, the 4 squares of life. And, your business, if you run a business, comes into the self-expression bit as well. So your entire life, think about those areas. And which one are you drawn to? Which of those 4 quadrants are you drawn to? Which one is clamoring for your attention? Just pick one, anyone.
Okay, I have picked self-expression. If you're listening, if you can type, please do type what you've picked. I've picked health expression. Self-expression. So which one of you picked health, wealth, relationships, or self-expression?
Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is just identify something in a highlight, something good that's happened for you in that area that you have identified. You don't have to share with us right now, Caroline, but you may want to, I don't know if you want to explain.
I'm happy to do so. I mean, I'm hosting this show, so I really should. So for me, possibly the thing I'm most proud of where I have expressed self-expression or elf expression, depending on what time of year it is is performing, is becoming a stage performer, and doing my work that I do through getting on stage. And the ultimate form of self-expression is it literally, I was using that word, exposing yourself again, but exposing your soul to hundreds of people in an audience. And you bet, yes, like, oh my goodness, are they going to, it's not so much are they going to criticize, it's more, are they going to go to sleep?
Right.
Or are they going to stay awake and engaged? And that's your objective. So that's probably my ultimate form of self-expression, literally.
So do you have a specific highlight?
The specific highlight would, yes, actually there is. It was in South Africa, interestingly enough. And it was, actually there were two ones in South Africa, because I go out to South Africa to perform and to go into the disadvantaged areas. And there was one that was a science center. In this case, they came to us, but they were like 1,000 township learners. Now, these were aged between about 10 and 20, because they stay in school, because the school's free up to, I think they can stay in school. She's got her hand up. I better shut up. Okay, I'm shutting up. It was that anyway. That one that I had them. I really had them.
Have it clear in your, just get it clear in your mind. Just get it clear in your mind. You've got it clear in your mind.
Right.
Okay.
So I've got the event clear in my mind.
Yeah. And now, what feeling, words, emotions are you associating with it? Write those down. Write down your feeling, words, and emotions of that highlight that you've identified.
Right, I'm going to share mine because we can't do it any other way. So if you want to share yours, listeners, then please do type it in the comments. If you're listening to it onto the radio, listening to it on the radio, then you can come maybe onto the Facebook page later and share. So mine were excitement, pride, and I was inspired to do more things.
Yeah. And how did that energize you? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So you feel quite energetic now.
Right. Do I feel energetic? Does it energize me in this moment? You bet you. Yes, going back to that moment, definitely.
So when you go back now and look at your 4 squares again.
Right.
And then just see if there's another square that you're drawn to that's begging for your attention. So it may be a different one, or it may even be the same square. It doesn't matter. Just look again and see if there's another square, perhaps another square begging for your attention.
I'm just going to give everyone a moment to register, because mine came straight up at me. Boom! For me, it was relationships.
Okay.
A relationship, a special relationship.
Okay. So just a little bit of warning. We may go into shall we say, a tender area that you may not want to share too openly. So
that's all right. I choose to be on the radio. You don't get to hold things back. Go ahead. Go on then.
No, just a warning. Yeah. So what would you love to be a highlight in this area? What would you love to be a highlight in this area?
Well, what I would love is to find a husband, the perfect man.
Okay.
I don't have aspirations.
You are entitled to perfect relationships, whatever perfect means for you. So again, find those feeling, words, and emotions when you have that relationship.
Okay, I've written mine down. Oh, go on, go on.
Feel free to share if you want.
I will. So if our listeners, if you could comment, that'd be amazing. We will, but if you're watching the rerun of this, then please do comment and we will go back and respond. to what you've said. So mine are loving, kind, generous, and respectful. Respect.
Fabulous. Okay. So now just close your eyes for a minute and step forward.
Okay. If you are driving a car,
better not do this.
not do this. Right. For those of us that are in a quiet place where we're going to close our eyes. If you're driving a car, just listen. Go ahead.
And just imagine 3 months from now, just 3 months forward, and this future highlight has now become a current highlight or more of a possibility. This, whatever you desire, is coming into has come in some way or form into your life. You've done it. And just imagine you're at a party. It might have to be a Zoom party. You're at a meeting. You're with your best friend. You're telling somebody about it. So now I want you to tell them about what it is that you've achieved, what it is that is such a highlight. What are the hoops that you've done that you've had to jump through to get there? How have you handled it all? How did it happen? What would you be saying? What would you be hearing? What would you be feeling? And just imagine that conversation. And then just jot down some of the things that you'd be saying.
Okay.
And then as you imagine having that conversation, what are the emotion words, and the feeling words again, that is representative?
Okay, right.
And then just look back at what you wrote before. How is it different? Is it the same? What do you notice?
Okay, right, I've done that. And now, but for our listeners, what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to have a break now because we want to talk more about Riana, and we're going to come back. And please do put your comments in and think about that. You can meditate on that to the lovely jingle of Relax Radio, and Riana and I will be back afterwards. We're going to find out what my experience was searching for my ideal man. It's going to be celebrating my birthday, by the way. I'm going to have that conversation celebrating my birthday with my besties. And so after the break, we're going to find out what I discovered. And please do put comments in from what you've discovered about yourself. And now I've got to find the jingle because I didn't have it lined up. And here we go. See you in just a moment, back with Riana Avis, discovering at least what my future holds.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to Relax Radio and Mindset Monday, and we're here with Riana Avis, who is sharing with us the secrets, her take on the secret to success in life, to living a happy life. It doesn't matter if you're having problems or not. It's your attitude to those problems that actually give you happiness or not. So we've just done an exercise where we've looked at four aspects of life: health, wealth, relationships, and self-expression. If you're just joining now, then please do go and listen to the replay to do the exercise. We've been doing it for about the last 15 minutes or so. And I had chosen, the last thing I chose was relationships, and I'm looking for my ideal husband. I'm currently basically a widow, and I'm looking for a loving, kind, generous, and respectful relationship. And I was telling my besties about it in 3 months' time, and I was excited. I was a giddy schoolgirl. I was scared. I was amazed. I was surprised, and I was proud of myself because I went and did online dating. I haven't done it.
But I think, Caroline, that you've just answered my next question, which is, what is your next step?
Online dating. I've signed up a couple of times and chickened out. I've signed up and then deleted it again. I'm like, oh no, they're talking to me. They're asking me questions. No. So yeah. So
yeah.
So that's my next step. Yes, online dating. And what else can I do in this day at the moment?
Yeah. So it's just coming back into the present. What will you do now? Which is what we've just done.
Sorry.
And you've shared what you're. No, absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wonderful. And I wish you all the best with that. And, keep it in your mind. Keep imagining it. Keep that vision. Keep feeling the feelings. Because as you feel the feelings, you attract it to you. You have to be the vibration of whatever you're attracting.
Okay.
You have to feel that.
So whatever you chose, lovely listeners, then just maintain that positive thing that you will be telling your besties in 3 months' time. Keep that in today, and that excitement of telling the news will help you actually succeed in achieving it. Okay, thank you. Nice one. So I'd like to talk about Riana Avis, the business coach, and maybe we should actually go to the money mentor, the money coach, because we haven't spoken about that at all. So what's the connection? How did you, because you describe yourself as a business coach and a money
coach. Yeah. So as I was working with my clients, I discovered that many of them would be reluctant to put financial goals down, when we do vision and strategy and things like that. And when I work with my clients, I work with them in 90-day cycles. So we plan for, well, it doesn't matter how we plan, but one of the requirements is, put some financial goals down. And many of them won't. And the way they talk about money as well, you just sense there's a bit of an issue here. And so I did actually start working with some of my clients. I said, would you be open to doing a money exercise? And I would do a mindset money exercise with them. And that helped them somewhat, but I recognized that there was more work to do. And I kept getting this idea of putting a course together to manage your money better. Because this was the other thing, there was not much financial clarity. So people weren't always clear about what money came in, what money went out, where did the money go to, and also fear of just looking at money. It's amazing how much fear there can be around looking at one's financial situation. And so I put this course together. And it was really about money management. A lot of it had to do about money management. I think the final straw that got me over the edge of should I, shouldn't I, who am I to do it, and all that kind of stuff that we go through was when I talked to my own business coach, and I said, and that particular year there was huge financial outlays for me. And she said, how are you going to manage this? And I told her what I was going to do. And she said, you're a good money manager. And I thought, I'm going to do it. That was like, this is it. That was like, the stamp, the approval stamp, if you like. And I went off and I did this course. It was 12 weeks. A lot of introspection as well, where money beliefs come from, a lot of practical stuff about managing your money. But 12 weeks, and the reason I made it 12 weeks was because it takes about 12 weeks for you to change habits. But it was really quite long. And after I ran it twice, it's like, really? Must I do it again? But I know it's something that people really need and help with. And while there's a lot of good tips and ways on how to manage your money on the internet, it doesn't always bring it together in ways that's coherent.
Well, I think that one of the big things is that emotional. It's not necessarily about being organized or understanding what you're doing. There's an awful lot of emotion involved. So having that personal
yes,
interaction with someone who's actually guiding you and can read you and notice when there's a pain point or something, then that's where having an actual coach is really helpful.
Because I hold that safe space for you, and that is the difference really, because between going to find that information on the internet and actually working with someone who can help you and hold you and encourage you, and help you face the fear really.
Okay, so that's the money.
That is necessary.
The money management. Again, if it's something that you're interested in, you do have an online course. Is there or interactive, or do you have anything you can just share that is just online?
There is something that's just online. If there's a group, I going through it. I arrange sessions, Q&A calls and so on, but people can go through it by themselves, and
so contact you. So is it on the website? Is it on?
It's on the smartwomensmartmoney.co.uk website.
Which is that in the? Did you send me that link?
I did, yes.
Is it okay? So it's in the description. Fine. Okay, we're running low. We've got time. So I want to move on to, so you're a business coach. Now I'll just say to people, you were a very effective business coach, but you are. It's very interesting what insights that Riana has, and if you're stuck on something, it's actually quite special to experience being coached by Riana. I want to ask you. You're welcome. I'm one of your biggest fans, I can assure you. So I wanted to ask you a few, because this is Mindset Monday and we want to give as much as we possibly can. You've talked about the first one. Oh my goodness, what was the first one? The first one was
confidence.
Confidence. Oh yeah, join confidence.
Toastmasters.
Join Toastmasters. Thank you. The second one was the silver lining. Always look for the silver lining, and keep looking for the positive. We've done the exercise now. So one of my questions is, what are the top 3 things that you use to maintain a growth mindset? So those are 2. What would the third one be?
A third one for me would be, I always have to dig deeper. I always need to understand, why did this happen? Or not why did this happen, but what is the lesson here? And dig deeper. When I say dig deeper, the story behind that is when I came to England, and I just couldn't find it in me to just put another step in front of the other. And I got off the bus, and one day at work, it was just one of those, when you really feel I can't go any further, I can't do any more, and this voice again in my head said, dig deeper. So I went out and I found something. I started philosophy classes, but there was this thing about dig deeper. And the other thing is, it's about reading uplifting materials. You know, I wrote a blog called Tony Robbins Saved My Life. Also after I came to the UK, because I suddenly realized I gave up a perfectly wonderful life in South Africa, came to the UK where where I hardly knew anybody. The weather was different, had to learn, you know.
That is so diplomatic. Different, yes.
Well,
Right,
you know what?
go.
I came here with a mindset it was better, and what I learned was it was different.
That's lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
So see, I told you we'd have noises going on here. So okay, I love it. So we've got the 4, we've got the bonus, and so presumably that blog is on the Riana Avis
Yes, you could get it from
website?
there if you.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you a link. I'll have to send you a link.
Well, send me the link, and I'll put it out on at least on the YouTube link. So we've got 4 minutes left, and so what I would love, 2 things in those 4 minutes. What is next 3 things in 4 minutes. What is your mission? We haven't actually stated that in a big way.
My mission is to facilitate other people's success. And my mission, as I see it more clearly these days, you know, there are so many people who have so many modalities, whether they're coaches, healers, therapists, people who help other people become better, heal, process things. And they are so good at whatever it is that they're doing, but they're not particularly good at running a business.
Right.
And it's my job to help them facilitate that. I kind of bring the left brain where they're the right brain, and we sort out the business.
Okay.
And I help them there, because the more I can help them, the more people they can help.
Okay. Right. That's a very noble mission. And yet that you certainly do that for me. You're my left brain. So what is next for Riana? We've got 3 minutes left.
What's next for me? So I still want to publish a book. I'm working on putting a group coaching course together. What else? I just have fun. Just not learn to enjoy, but enjoy life. Enjoy life.
Enjoy life is good. And you're also planning what do you call it? 10-day, 90-day.
Oh, the group coaching, yeah.
Group coaching, yeah. Well, the group coaching, yeah. But what is it? Group coaching.
What is it? What is it? Oh, you want to know what it is? Okay, so it's a 90-day sprint.
Very briefly, yeah. 90-day
sprint within your vision, and it's about working those 90 days, staying very focused with your vision and focus and direction, in a supportive community where you can learn together and you can have that confidence, and we can help each other and brainstorm and laser coach and help us support each other for 90 days.
I'm just going to stop you for 1 second, because what you haven't said, this is basically for everybody, all the listeners, where the connection here is, this is your New Year's resolution. Join the coaching group. And you can actually, perhaps for the first time ever, make your New Year's resolution come true, because it's accountability, and it's a group that you can be joining and follow for 90 days and actually carry out your New Year's resolution. So that was my take on that.
Well,
so
excellent summary. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. And then the very last thing, we've got less than a minute left. When you're 100 and look back at your life, what do you want to see? You've got 30 seconds. Go.
Happy people all around me. Happy people who are happy with their relationships. They're happy doing their business. They're happy in their jobs. They're just happy. They're uplifted. They're happy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. I will be back after the break with Tony Bearden and Happy Maths Hour. Thank you so much, Tony. Riana, people can connect with you. It's all in the description. And I will speak to you later. Thank you so much for being my guest.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about Riana